Okay, I want to start off by thanking everyone who came out tonight. We're supposed to have more people, but maybe they'll show up after this. But last week, on the 30th, we had a press release that released some of our plans for the city. Shortly after that, the release, people felt the need to attack me and my campaign. Tonight I plan on addressing remarks that were made in regards to the articles. I want to start off by saying I appreciate all the positive feedback that some people were nice enough to leave. As far as the negative remarks go, bear with me as we address these issues tonight. Concerned parent wrote, when are they going to give the kids something to do that doesn't have the structure that they need at home? Because those kids do grow up and not move away from home, and because of our future criminals, and become our future criminals. Crime is killing this city. It's not safe to let your children outside. Leave anything outside that isn't bolted down, but to leave a window open at night. This town has gotten so sad. We plan on moving in a few years if nothing changes. Back in 2003, I ran for city councilman against Ollie Dixon. At that time, I was approached on the radio by Bill Jackson asking me what I was going to do for the youth of the city. I advised them I was planning on doing a youth council. Okay, they asked what it was. I explained to them a youth council is basically a step down from the actual city council, but it puts the youth involved with the government. It gives them something to do. It gives them a voice. I went on to research it more, checked with Muncie, got invited but could not afford to go to Auckland City, New Zealand to see their youth council at work. That town is over 1 million people. I wrote up a proposal for the youth council, presented it to the city council. They denied it. I plan as mayor to bring the youth council back in. School system has been talking about graduation rates. We're only at 57%, I think it is right now. In 2003, we were at 52. That's only a 5% increase. With the youth council, we can increase, because the towns I've talked to, they increase their graduation rate to well over 90%, which means our students are getting educated, we are graduating them. This way it also keeps, as this person said, it gets the kids off the streets. It gives them something to do instead of looking at the crime. That is one thing that I started back in 2003. I got shot down. It hasn't died. I'm still working on it, and I'll do a resolution again. And when I become mayor, I will put a youth council in force to get the youth involved, to give them something else to do than going out on the streets, for doing the crime, and give them something to do. We've lost the Power Club per se. We've lost the Boys and Girls Club. We need something for the youth to do. Let's get them involved with what the city is doing, and let's hear their voice, because they're our future. You know, the next comment. Spread Road. What a bunch of garbage. McClish doesn't know how to run his own life, let alone an entire city. What I've learned about him, about being around him, is if it's not about him, then he wants nothing to do with it. He always has to be center of attention. Says, Anderson, do yourself a favor. Don't vote for McClish. Choose someone else. I don't want to be the center of attention. Anderson is the center of attention. I don't know how to run my own life. A year and a half ago, I was sitting in Washington State in a homeless shelter. I have rebuilt myself to where I'm at right now. If I don't know how to run my own life, how can I rebuild myself to where I'm at right now? This person has put a lot of negative up. We've addressed it and saying, get out from behind your computer, come to one of these meetings. You got something negative, say it to me at one of these meetings so I can address it personally. Ice Cream Man wrote, Winston Churchill once said that if you talk to the average citizen, it'll turn you against Democrats. Yeah.
Democracy.
Democracy. I can't speak this evening. Mr. McClish, you do not take politics out of the police department and turn it over to popular vote. And I'm going to stop right there. Because what they're not understanding is what I'm wanting to do. I like what he says later. But as mayor of the town, I do not know who the best qualified person to lead that department is. I will use Brian as an example. Brian could have just got on the police department a year and a half ago. Okay, as he says, a lot of the, it's how much he works with politicians, all this. Okay, Brian's working with me. Okay, I put him in as police chief. He's only been with the department a year and a half. Will the guys follow him? My answer, no, because he's still a rookie. But if you put it to where they can vote, they nominate the person they want. And again, I'll use names. Some guys I know, Mitch Carroll, Norman Rayford. I know both of them personally. If they nominate them guys and they think that they can follow them better, then that's who I appoint. But they are figuring out who they want to follow to bring the morale of the department up. They have to have a say.
True.
This way, I'm not just picking a person that handed out a lot of flyers for me. I'm letting them say, okay, Kim is on the police force. She's been on there for a while. My wife, Kim, say she's been on the department for a long time. They think she could be a great leader. They would follow her. They would love to have her as chief. She's never been chief. They say, we want her in. Okay. Is it going to bring morale? Yes. Okay. That's who you guys want. That's who we put in. I understand what they're saying about popular vote. But it's not the people voting. It's the people within the department voting for their own chief. Who they want to lead them. Who they will follow. He goes on about, saying appoint people to the safety board, mayor, commission, and city council. Okay, that's a good idea. But then again, them are all political appointed positions or politically elected. We want it to where the politics are out of it, so we let the department choose. Safety board, mayor, commission vote are appointed by the mayor. City council is voted on. It is political. So you cannot take politics out if you go with them boards, because you still have your politics. And as far as the chiefs, I don't care whether the chief is a Democrat. I don't care if he's a Republican. I don't care if he's an independent. I don't care if he's a libertarian. Just as long as the department thinks he could run the department better and get the morale up and get these officers where they like to do their job, because they're not doing their job now. I'm sorry to say that the police department is not doing the job as the way it should be. And we've got to get the morale up where they like to do their job, and we've got to turn around and put that away. Lucky LA wrote, Lost Valley wrote with the first bullet. Why does the school system have to support the wigwam? How many tax-exempt senior citizens of vacant unused church buildings does Anderson really need? And great, so vacant checks to deliver. Another great text generating idea. This is worse than what we have. First off, I didn't say I have a proposal, but Brian and we both presented to the school system. We don't want the school system to support the wigwam. We have a proposal to take it away from them. So a non-profit organization can take have control of the wigwam. People are reading into things, and it's not the way they need to be reading. The Anderson Herald Bulletin, as you said, is biased. They word it the way they want to word it. When I announced my campaign, they said the main concern why I wanted to run was because they took away the midnight parade. No, I said that was one of my concerns. That's what broke the camel's back, because they did away with a long-time tradition of this town that's known nationwide. That wasn't the only reason why I wanted to run. Sell the vacant shacks. My plan is to utilize the empty buildings and empty houses within the city, sell them to individuals so they can rebuild them so they're not vacant. Just that on down, because I have another comment on that. BLT Road. After reading this, I'm still undecided in the mayor's race, but I've narrowed it down by now, having eliminated Ackerman, Smith, and McClish. With his top priority list having saving the wigwam as first item, and his priorities like an economical development plan, McClish tells me I'm the wrong person. Again, top priority was not the wigwam. Top priority is the jobs. We did put in our proposal, in our plan, about businesses we've talked to. We have talked to roughly 15 to 20 companies. We've got positive feedback by most of them. So I do have an economical plan. And like I also stated at my last meeting, if I do have to travel to cities to talk to businesses, it's going to come out of my pocket, not the taxpayers' dollars. Not like a current administration traveled to China and we paid for it. And what did he bring back? Nothing.
Sorry.
He brought back some sushi or something like that.
Yeah.
Independent Anderson Road. Laughing out loud. Paul says he wants to take politics out of police, fire and police by holding an election with the majority candidate being the chief. Is this guy for real? Yeah, I am. And like I stated earlier, it is the fact that if the department goes within themselves to put a chief in, the morale of the department will be up, and it is better for the department for them to choose it than a mayor pick a person that they will not follow, and the morale goes down lower than what it is right now.
True.
Mark Combs Road. Particularly like the idea of selling, you hit the wrong keys, abandoning houses for $100. Though I would add that limits purchase to one per person. That person buying a house would have to live there for a period of time as opposed to renting it out. That is in our plan. When we sell these houses, we do want to only sell it to one person and to a family that needs it. They have to live in there, they cannot rent it out, and they have 2 years to bring the building up to codes, which brings us down to Ron in a few seconds. And at the end of the 2 years, if they do not have the building up to codes, then they have to relinquish the house back to the city and we sell it to someone else. But only one person can buy a house per family. Oh, hi Steve. If Steve Zamito and his wife want to buy a house and do this, sorry, either Steve or his wife Karen can buy, one or the other can buy a house, but both of them cannot buy it because they both buy it, they're going to rent one out to make money off it, and no, that's not what this deal is. It's to get the house back up. Okay, Ron Road. I like how he plans on requiring employment of 65% of Madison County residents when 50% of the residents can't pass a drug or background test. I don't agree with that number. I know there's a lot of problems here. But there's a lot of capable people that are able to work in this county, that if I bring a new business in and they want a 5-year $10 million tax abatement, that we can find 65% of employment with that place. So we at least get a tax break back from that from the people working here. Toyota in Greenfield, when they went into that town, when they started up, they refused to take any applications from anybody outside of Greenfield area until they got a certain percentage up. Then they started taking applications from outside the area. Greenfield benefit from Toyota doing that, because they gave them good tax abatements, they gave them good tax breaks, but in return, their unemployment went down because the people went to work for Toyota. And then when them people are working and they're getting paid, they're taking the taxes out, and it's coming right back to the county because you have to pay county taxes. So they're getting money back because they have a good percentage of the employees coming from that area. This can be done too. He also goes on to says he wants abandoned buildings brought up to code in 2 years. He says what code is he's talking about? He says Madison has no building codes. He passed a storage shed off as a house in the county because of lack of any building code and worthless building commissioner. There are building codes. And I'll agree. I know the fact the building commissioner ain't doing his job because we got pictures of buildings right now in this town that need to be tore down. Their roofs are caving in.
I can take you to 5 of them that I know of.
I can probably take you to what, 20 of them?
No.
And I haven't even been in all parts yet.
5 of them are probably ones I know about.
Building commissioner, if I'm not fat, yes it is. Building commissioner is appointed by the mayor. Guess what? If there's no codes and it hasn't been done, that means, this building commissioner hasn't been doing his job for how many years? There are codes that have to be followed. There are fire codes that have to be followed. And I've been a licensed firefighter for 27 years, and I know there's codes out there that are being violated right and left. So if the building commissioner doesn't do his job, we need a new one that will do their job. You know, the negatives that we've had have really just stirred me up even more. I mean, it's just kicking me more even into what I'm wanting to do. I love the negative, because I can turn the negative into positive, into everything I want to do with this. Yeah, I first started back in 1999, and I sought the office of mayor here in 1999. I ran against Lonnie Zarnicki. Lonnie beat me out in the primary. That night of the primary, I remember vividly, and I'll never forget that night. Yeah, I lost. But when I got ready to leave, Lonnie Zarnicki came up to me and said, "Paul, don't leave." Why? Just don't leave. Okay, I humbled myself, I stayed there. When Lonnie Zarnicki got up to do his acceptance speech of winning the Republican nomination, he pulled me right up there beside him with 3 major TV stations right in front of him. And his comment was, "Paul didn't lose this race. He won it right along with me. He made me work to get the nomination." I was told that year also not to run by the chairperson. I got compared to Jesse Ventura. I said, I love that part. Jesse won that year, or the year before, I think it was. But he had won. But I also showed him that I'm not a quitter. I ran in 03 against Ollie Dixon. I lost again.
That's I can't believe, because
But there again, I'm not a quitter. I lost. Yeah, I left because of the fact of that administration went in, I helped get in, put a knife in my back. I was stated when I came back and declared my candidacy that I was out of town for 5 years. How could I know what was going on for 5 years and I wasn't around? It's what you call friends, it's what you call connections, and it's called internet. You keep up with what's going on. I knew about Ollie Dixon's arrest the day it happened, and I was in South Carolina. So, you know, it's pretty good. You know, when I lost my job in South Carolina, I wound up going out to Washington State to look for work because I didn't have work. I got out there, and I actually wound up in a homeless shelter, like I said earlier. That's the lowest I've ever been. I'm not silver spoon fed. I'm not saying I've got money. But that's the lowest I've ever been. But you want to know something? God put me there for a reason. Because I learned a lot. It gave me a lot of strength. I watched, I learned. When I came back here, my determination was I was going to run for mayor. I started rebuilding myself. The homeless shelter that I was in out there, I talked to them today. We're working on a program right now with the Christian Center. I got confirmation from them today that they will help me with this program. And if I go further on doing homeless shelters, they will help me and guide me to get them up and going to where they're running properly. I won't stand, I won't bow down, I won't turn around, my life is open. I've been a licensed firefighter for 27 years. I was born and raised in Marion, Indiana. I'm a Marion Giant, sorry. I'm proud of being a Marion Giant, but there's also, I'm very proud of knowing Norm Allen too was in high school, which is the best, one of the best high school coaches around. Because it was Norm Helm and the Indians, and it was Bill Green and the Giants when they played. Mm-hmm. It was a Marion Giants against Anderson Indians. It was Bill Green's Giants against Norm Helm's Indians. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in it. I'm gonna fight for this race. I think I've got a few of the other ones running on the Republican ticket a little scared because of what I'm doing. I'm hearing a lot of positive on the streets. We were out today, and I'm gonna put up some notes, some emails that we got. These are people that we turned around and we invited to our meetings. One is Governor Mitch Daniels. Now, I can't read what it says because I'm over here, but I'm looking at the mic. It says, thank you for your email and your request for Governor Daniels to attend one of your planned town meetings. Unfortunately, the governor will not be able to attend due to other events. We truly appreciate your support for the governor and wish you the best of luck. Thank you again. Stay in touch and have a great weekend. You know, that we've had, this makes what, about the third or fourth email we've got from him? Everyone says stay in touch. So it's telling me He's watching for some reason.
Yeah.
National, we tried to get Lieutenant Governor Skillman. Yeah, we're not really able to attend anything in the calendar of April due to the legislative session, which I like her, fingers crossed, I don't think it's going to end. We'll end on April 29th. Thanks for thanking the Lieutenant Governor for this. And best regards. We go on. Then we got Senator Lugar. Email to Senator Lugar in which reminded him to attend the town hall meeting in Anderson was shared with her. Regretfully, the Senator will be unable to join you as is scheduled. Is fully committed during the month of April, the days he will be in Indiana. Your adventure is very much appreciated. Thank you for your interest in the Senator and his office. You know, what we're trying to do a lot is not only for Anderson, but also work with the state. But Anderson itself can be a stepping stone for other cities to follow if we start doing things for the people and we listen to the people. May 3rd, I'm looking forward to that night of celebrating winning the Republican nomination for mayor of Anderson, Indiana. And I look forward to going against either Mayor Ackerman, Fred Reese, or I think it's Adcock. I forget who the other, but there's one of them. Andrew for Bob, because he'll be on the locutorial. I look forward to November. But after May 3rd, our campaign right now is at a level 28 or 30. After May 3rd, after we win, our campaign goes to 275%. Because we will be out to beat the Democratic nominee. My name is Paul McClish, and I am a Republican candidate for mayor. And I appreciate your vote on May 3rd.